Thank you very much. Wow, y'all had this in big script back here, and they gave me this. Oh boy, here we go. Well, I've been fighting with myself growing older. I refuse to grow older, so me and my glasses are fighting it out right now, but I'm going to go ahead and use them this time because it's going in. So anyways, I just want to say good morning and thank you to everyone. I'm here with Tim Bobby Linda. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce one of the greatest mayors, Mayor Richard Newton, who will be presenting the annual State of the City. Mayor Newton is an impressive guy. Everybody knows that. With all sorts of impressive things on his resume. But what I'd like you to know about him is this. He's dedicated 17 years of service to the Colleyville community. For the last 6, he has led our council and our town, and I'm personally thankful for your leadership, Mayor Newton. He has a lot of great information to share with you all, and all the great things that have been going on in the city, and under your leadership, we've gotten these things done. So without further ado, my buddy, Mayor Newton.
Hey, Garth Brooks. Oh, he's got
No. Well, my mic's working, I guess. Let me get situated. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that very nice introduction. I really appreciate it. And good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for coming out on this beautiful day, so much better than last Thursday, to support the chamber and listen to the 2021 State of the City. I've got to tell you, I have a lot of information to share, so I am going to follow the script today. And because I'm going to be talking a lot, we included a lot of visuals, hopefully to entertain you, so I hope you enjoy them. But before I begin, I would like to introduce the team, and they truly are a team. They work very hard on your behalf to make Colleyville the great place we all love. First, the elected officials. Mayor Pro Tem Bobby Lindemood, Council members Tammy Nakamura, Kathy Wheat, George Dotson, you guys stand up, Chuck Kelly, and Callie Rigney. So, it truly is because of this team's tireless commitment that Colleyville is the charming oasis that we all call home. Now for the rest of the team, and they deserve special recognition. City Manager Jerry Duquet, Assistant City Managers, you guys stand up, Adrian Lothray and Mark Wood, Police Chief Michael Miller, Fire Chief Mark Cantrell, and all of the city's leadership team pictured here on the screen and standing, please. I can tell you Colleyville staff is simply the best that there is. True. They are totally committed, and I personally thank all of you for your dedication, your get-it-done attitude, your excellence in execution, and your continuous improvement and creativity. You do a fantastic job for the citizens of our city, and I appreciate all of you more than I can express. Now, on to the program. This is a bittersweet state of the city for me personally. I have a lot of great information to share about the city I love, but it will be my last as your mayor. When I took office as mayor in 2016, one of my top priorities was to amend the charter to establish term limits for elected officials. This ballot measure was overwhelmingly approved by voters in November 2016. It's my opinion that elected officials should not have lifetime offices. I believe it's important to these positions to rotate periodically to new individuals who have the same desire to maintain the success of Colleyville and who want to serve and give back to their community. So I have termed myself out of office, which makes my wife very happy. The last 6 years have been an absolutely wonderful and rewarding experience serving you in this award-winning city. It's my pleasure to share with you some of this journey over the last 6 years. We all have individual reasons we chose Colleyville. Perhaps you moved here for a job relocation to North Texas and ended up here. Perhaps you did research on many communities before picking the best. Or perhaps you heard about Colleyville by word of mouth and you had to check it out for yourself. Whatever the case, Colleyville is home. Colleyville has been my home for 36 years. It is truly the city I love and the place I will stay the rest of my life. My beautiful wife, Linda, grew up in Colleyville and Grapevine and has seen Colleyville grow from the farmland it once was to the wonderful city that it is today. All of my children have been raised here and went to GCISD, graduating from both Grapevine High School and Colleyville Heritage High School. By the way, Linda graduated from Grapevine High School, and she is a distinguished alumni of Grapevine High School. She is. I can tell you she is definitely a proud Mustang, and with a deep history. She is proud that 4 generations of her family have attended GCISD. I love Colleyville for many reasons, but chief among them is the unique feel of the city. Feel is something that's hard to define, but if you live here, you know what I'm talking about. I'm an Aggie, and we have a saying down in College Station that from the outside looking in, you can't understand it. From the inside looking out, you can't explain it. The same could be said for Colleyville. Part of the feel of Colleyville and what sets our city apart from others is that we have been able to retain our rural roots through careful and intentional development. We have large estate lots set far back from the road. We have agricultural lots with horses and llamas. We have 2-lane roads with open ditches. You naturally see green spaces and open areas, all contributing to the rural character and small hometown feel of Colleyville. One of the main reasons I ran for office after being away for so long was that development decisions were being made that consistently chipped away at the uniqueness of Colleyville. Colleyville elected officials should see to it that we never lose what Colleyville is. Elected officials should make decisions that protect the spirit of Colleyville and ensure that feel goes on for generations to come. I have made decisions over the last 6 years that I hope will leave a lasting legacy. But Colleyville means something different to everyone. For many, Colleyville means family. It's the place where children are being raised and deep family roots are being created. Perhaps it's the place where children were raised, memories were made, but now the home is an empty nest. For others, Colleyville means relaxation. It's the oasis where after a busy day at the office, you can come home, relax, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Whatever Colleyville means to you, we can all agree that it is a special place. You may not realize this, but Webster actually defines Colleyville. See on the screen, it's right there in the dictionary. Well, maybe it's not really in the dictionary, but if it was, it would read something like this. The best city in America, a tranquil urban oasis characterized by its upscale neighborhoods, family-friendly atmosphere, and unmatched community spirit. So, let's define some specific areas of Colleyville that this City Council has prioritized to help ensure the definition of Colleyville remains unchanged for years to come. Colleyville means business. We have many wonderful businesses that have chosen to invest in Colleyville. Some of these business owners are Colleyville residents who put their life savings at risk to pursue the dream of owning their own independent business. Others may appear to be corporate, but when you dig deeper, you realize that it's a local owner of franchise. Whatever the case, we appreciate their investment in our community. These businesses contribute to the high quality of life that we all enjoy. They provide convenient services needed by our residents. And for that reason, we have made a concerted effort to invest back into our businesses and do everything we can to help make them successful. When Collardville Boulevard was under construction a couple of years ago, we knew we had to do something quick to assist our businesses. The roadway was, quite frankly, a mess. We all lived it. There were orange cones everywhere, business access was changed, and it was difficult to navigate the corridor. The city needed to act quickly, and we did. We created a new program for each quarter of the year aimed at bringing awareness to businesses. We provided $1,000 advertising grants, and if the business donated $500 to a local nonprofit during the holiday season, we doubled the grant to $2,000. To date, businesses have donated over $75,000 to local nonprofits because of this program. We also started a receipt race with GCISD PTAs, who collected receipts that represented an estimated $20 million in sales for our businesses. From that process, the city awarded the participating PTAs over $30,000 in grants, who then reinvested the money back into our schools and our children. We created multiple business grants programs, represented by the acronyms BEST, SIGN, and SAFER. Through these programs, we partnered on 33 projects to improve facades, signage, landscaping, and fire suppression, resulting in $9.7 million in total improvement value. With $726,000 invested from the city, this is a 13 times return on investment. And that's pretty good, if you ask me. These improvements equate to $216,000 in new annual commercial property tax revenue, of which $129,000 annually goes to GCISD. There is no doubt that the last 2 years have been a stress test for business. Navigating a global pandemic is not something anyone had envisioned. I certainly did not when I took office as mayor. There was no book or webinar or best practices to follow whatsoever. As simple as it sounds, we all had to figure it out as we went along. Our businesses and our city rose to meet the challenges head on, and I'm proud of the creative ways we worked together to not just get through it, but prosper through the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we also knew we needed to do something quick to help our businesses. Our gift card program, which had been initiated during Highway 26 construction, was identified as a successful and established mechanism that residents were familiar with, and so we doubled down on that program. When this program was first launched, some thought we were crazy, literally. Some reporters questioned our sanity, and of course we always question theirs. Other cities called to ask how in the world we did this. The answer was as simple then as it is now. Our businesses needed help. We had the resources and the guts, by the way, so why wouldn't we? We do the right thing even in the face of adversity every time. We then increased the gift card amount to $35 and have done 8 distributions since then, investing over $2 million in our local businesses. I've heard from a number of our businesses on how appreciative they've been for these gift cards. The cards helped sustain businesses during the pandemic. One restaurant owner said the gift cards allowed him to pay his staff that month. And that's what a great testimony of exactly what we hope to accomplish. During the pandemic, we conducted a business-by-business in-person survey. Our staff literally talked with hundreds of businesses face-to-face to ask what they needed. 2 things come out of that. They wanted to continue the gift card programs, and they wanted to bring in new customers. We did both by expanding the gift card program and even distributing cards into surrounding cities to bring new customers. I'm happy that we undertook this effort and helped to accomplish both. Another action the city took was to be the first to open our restaurants, and we did it within the governor's mandate, by the way. It was bold, but it was the right thing to do for our businesses and our community. Another way the city demonstrated that Colleyville means business is through strategic land purchases. This is an aggressive method of economic development that allows the city to control the zoning. 2 years ago, the City Council approved the purchase of 41 acres at the Northern Gateway. We have engaged a consultant to help us plan and develop concepts that meet our quality standards and that can be taken to the development community for future development. Similarly, we purchased 6 acres in the southern gateway for future development also. Doing this will ensure that development at our north and south entryways develop in a quality nature consistent with Colleyville values and would be something we can all be proud of. Over the last few years, the city has also planted a flag in the ground for small business and entrepreneurship. We partnered with the Chamber of Commerce and SCORE and opened the Colleyville Business Center on Collardville Boulevard in the former Wachovia building to be the central point of business development within our community. The Wachovia building had been vacant for many years and was going to sit empty until at least 2025 because of serious lease constraints with Wachovia, which is now Wells Fargo. Many businesses had tried to lease that space but could not make the numbers work, including, by the way, Chick-fil-A. The city struck a great deal with the property owners and Wells Fargo. The deal activated economic development on a prominent corner of Highway 26, and I would like to thank our city council who shared the vision for the business center at this location. Now, new and existing businesses have a physical space where they can go to connect with other businesses, get answers to questions, rent office space, and conduct a meeting in a professional setting. With so many businesses continuing to operate remotely because of the pandemic, the business center has been a tremendous resource for many. All of the private offices are rented, and we even have a wait list. The mailboxes are full, and we're looking to add more. And many programs and seminars have been conducted there, geared at helping businesses thrive. I am proud of this project, and it was exciting to watch it grow from a simple concept to an actual place where business is conducted. One new business officed out of the center for about 10 months, joined the chamber, and have recently opened their own independent offices in Colleyville. That's proof right there that this is a successful concept. The city just recently won a Merit Recognition Award from the Texas Economic Development Council for the Colleyville Business Center and our partnership with the Chamber of Commerce for being an innovative project. Finally, new business development in Colleyville is thriving. Over the last 6 years, more than 260,000 square feet of commercial space has been developed or remodeled with a value of over $100 million. This new commercial property value not only benefits the city, but GCISD ad valorem tax revenue as well. Sales tax continues to climb each year, and the last 2 years have actually set new records. Last year alone, we brought in over $1.2 million more in sales tax than the year before. Increased sales tax and increased commercial property value are 2 ways that we're able to adopt the no new revenue tax rate for 4 consecutive years, keeping residential tax bills the same. I'll talk more about that later. Colleyville means safety. Every opportunity I get, I tell people how great our police and fire departments are. We have the best public safety in the state. We have the best police and fire chief in the nation. And I genuinely mean that. You can go to any city, large or small, and not find a more skilled, professional, and caring police or fire department. Colleyville consistently ranks among the safest cities in Texas and the nation, and that is because of the dedication to excellence and service provided by our firefighters and our police officers. The Colleyville Police Department recently received accreditation through the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. This is a tremendous accomplishment that took several years to accomplish. Our police department is also accredited by the Texas Police Chiefs Association. And I can tell you that there are only 6 agencies in Texas with both accreditations, putting us in a very elite company indeed. What these accreditations mean for residents and business owners is that they can rest assured that their police department operates under best practices, that their policies and procedures are fair, and that the police department is trained and skilled to respond to any situation, what was recently demonstrated so well during the recent terrorist hostage event. Chief Miller just recently presented 2021 crime statistics to the City Council which showed a crime reduction of 20% over last year. And literally last week, the police department distributed a press release about their solving a large Asian money laundering operation. And this case led to the arrest of 2 key individuals who scammed people out of nearly $700,000 worth of gift cards shown on this slide that filled up a room, by the way. During the unrest last year, after the murder of George Floyd, there was a lot of national dialogue around police work and their role in communities. Chief Miller and I met this discussion head on with a candid video about the Colleyville Police Department and their operations. This video is published on our website along with the frequently asked questions document. Because of our accreditation, we were already following the best practices that address items brought forth by the George Floyd case, such as banning chokeholds and use of excessive force. We did not have to make any changes, not one, to our police procedures and policy to address the national dialogue because they were already made. I was very proud of that. This year, our police department received 2 worldwide awards from the International Police Chiefs Association. This group provides 16 awards each year for outstanding police work, and the awards are not broken out by population. All police departments worldwide are competing globally for the same recognition, from Colleyville to New York to London. In fact, last year, Dubai was an award recipient. This year, Colleyville, with a police department of only 42 officers, won not 1 award, but 2 awards in the same year. I don't believe that there's been any city worldwide, no matter how large, has won 2 awards in 1 year. It's just unbelievable that Colleyville did that. You should be very proud of your police department. I know I am. They were awarded for their role in stopping one of the world's largest organized sex trafficking rings, as well as an international elder fraud scam. This is separate and distinct from the case I just mentioned a while ago. Detectives Self and Prater, pictured on the screen, were members of the award-winning teams and serve as special agents in the Secret Service and Homeland Security. They are subject matter experts, and they are frequently called on by federal and state agencies to assist with cases including the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, Secret Service, and the Texas Department of Public Safety. Even before the unfortunate terrorist activity last month, our police department has been recognized by multiple federal agencies as essential partners and an exceptional department. Throughout the terrorist attack and since that time, all involved believe our department exhibited the highest level of professional excellence and skill. In my opinion, they exemplified an unmatched level of skill. Their seamless and flawless execution in resolving that incident will become a model case that will be studied for years to come. Even the director of the FBI, the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of Israel have all recognized their leadership and superb incident management. President Biden was quoted as saying, "Thank God for the incredible and seamless cooperation between local and federal agencies." When I tell you that our department has the capabilities and skill set of any department in the entire world, now you should know why. I think the proof is in the pudding. Not to be outdone, however, the Colleyville Fire Department is simply the best in the business. If you had a medical emergency or fire, our department will be there in a hurry and will provide the best possible care. Since 2018, our fire department has 18 CPR saves, and I can tell you that is amazing. Most firefighters don't experience that number in an entire career. It's important to take a moment to note that the national standard defining a save requires that an individual's heartbeat is restored and sustained until after the arrival at the hospital. Applying that national standard, our fire department would have not 18, but 27 saves. However, our fire department holds itself to a much higher standard and only acknowledges saves when they know for a fact that the person left the hospital on their own 2 feet and went home. And that, to me, is simply incredible. And I think they probably have a lot more than 18, but they just don't know what happened to the people at the hospital because of HIPAA regulations. I'm proud to tell you that this example demonstrates how our city staff sets their standards way above anyone else, and they do it on their own volition. In this case, well above the national standard. As mayor, I did not even know about this particular example until 2 weeks ago when Chief Cantrell gave an update at the council work session and happened to mention this. This is not something they were directed to do, and they did it on their own. This is a big deal to me. This is but one example of many that may never be part of public discussion, but go on behind the scenes by our staff daily. And I can tell you, I glow with pride as mayor and as a citizen when I learn of staff initiatives that raise the bar to benefit our citizens. This is one reason I always say we have a great city staff. And by the way, the saves we're talking about are people, fathers, mothers, grandparents, our family members who were literally dead when our firefighters arrived and now are recovered and living their lives because of the care they received by our fire department. One situation in particular stands out. Our fire department was called to one of our local gyms. When they arrived, a woman had been pulled out of the swimming pool, not breathing. Various medical procedures were provided by the responding personnel, and she is now 100% recovered. Now, after reviewing the video footage from the gym, after that incident, it was discovered that the woman had been face down underwater for 8 minutes. And I'm so proud of these men and women. These saves are the reason the fire department has received numerous awards from the American Heart Association Mission Lifeline and CareFlight. Our firefighters are also community-minded. Last year, it was time to replace one of our fire engines. Instead of taking the easy route and ordering a regular truck, the fire department formed an internal committee to design a fire truck that meets the needs of our community. As you know, Colleyville is filled with large lots and narrow roads. This is part of the small town feel that we all love. The fire department tailored the new fire truck that is smaller, about half the size of a normal truck, and more nimble. It can turn on a dime, in and out of small roads and cul-de-sacs. And this truck will allow them to better serve. They wouldn't let me drive it. I tried. I really did. I don't know why. Anyway, that truck will serve this community for many years to come. And by the way, this new way of thinking about fire apparatus is getting a lot of attention. It was featured at a fire apparatus convention as being touted as the gold standard in customizing a truck to fit your community. It's clear that our fire department continues to lead the way around the nation. Another example of our innovative out-of-the-box approach is in the fire department's new response model to medical emergencies. Last year, Chief Cantrell proposed the idea of not sending a fire truck to every medical call. Instead, he created a squad response vehicle, a Tahoe, to go with each ambulance on calls. The squad is able to more quickly respond and is staffed with a newly created position of medical field supervising officer. The results speak for themselves. 24 seconds were cut off response time, and in an emergency, every single second counts. And I sincerely appreciate the fire department's willingness to embrace new and different ways to improve service to our communities. Bucking the trend, they are not afraid to go against the traditional norms of the fire industry. Fire Chief Cantrell says that one of the things that most firefighters don't like is change. But I can tell you our fire department embraces change and is innovative in their approach to making change happen, and I really appreciate that. Colleyville means quality. With everything we do, Colleyville is first and foremost. Quality is first and foremost. We strive for excellence in the services we provide and the projects we complete. Residents and business owners have invested in their own properties and have set a high quality standard. So it's incumbent upon us at the city to provide at least the same level of quality. I can think of no better example of quality than Collarville Boulevard. The city worked with our partner TxDOT to ensure we received a quality road. At times, this meant our staff had to work with TxDOT contractors to make changes in the field. We are fortunate to have many elected officials working on our behalf in DC, Austin, and here locally. Senator Ted Cruz recently visited Colleyville to meet with the Jewish Federation, and I was proud to host this meeting and thank Senator Cruz for his strong support of the Jewish community and Israel. Representative Beth Van Dyne has already been an advocate for our district, and I'm thankful for her friendship. I would like to thank Senator Beverly Powell, Representative Giovanni Capriglione, and especially Commissioner Gary Fickus for their assistance with road projects such as Colleyville Boulevard. Commissioner Fickus, by the way, is a Colleyville citizen and has been instrumental in road work in Colleyville, saving our residents millions in tax dollars. We worked for months with our design firm Mesa to devise a landscape plan for Colleyville Boulevard that is quality. Our vision for Colleyville Boulevard came to fruition with light poles, landscape, hardscape, large mature trees in the median, and ornamental trees in the parkway, all quality materials and quality workmanship. Now we move on to phase 3 of the beautification, which is the gateway features. The City Council broke ground on this project in November, with completion about a year away. This project includes beautiful tower and landscape elements along Colleyville Boulevard at John McCain, Main Street, and just north of Little Bear Creek. Once complete, there will be no mistaking that you're in Colleyville. These are generational quality improvements that our residents can be proud of for decades to come. Another example of our quality improvements can be seen in our parks and open spaces. We have greatly enhanced these spaces for our residents to enjoy. We have some outstanding parks in Colleyville, including the internationally known Nature Center. The Friends of the Nature Center Facebook page has some wonderful photos from photographers from all over that come to the park to capture the beauty. We added shade structures and batting cages at City Park, as well as completely renovating the restrooms. We built new restrooms at the Nature Center, Reagan Park, and Pleasant Run soccer fields. We've added trees and landscaping and medians at Church Street and Hall Johnson, as well as the 3 Colleyville corners at Colleyville Boulevard and Sheets Barger. We completed new roundabouts at McDonville and Westcote and John McCain, and Riverwalk and Glade. Within these, we added bronze sculptures reflective of Colleyville's rural hometown roots. We added similar artwork at all of our other roundabouts. And simple projects like these create community pride, I believe. Over the last several years, the City Council has prioritized sidewalk and trails. We began an aggressive sidewalk connectivity project, completing 15 sidewalk segments. We also added new trails at John McCain, Pleasant Run Road, LD Lockett, Lavaca Trail, Thompson Terrace, Bluebonnet, and Bedford Road at Terrace Subdivision. Over the past 2 years, we have spent $1.3 million on pedestrian connectivity improvements, and will spend another $11.3 million over the next 5 years. These projects enhance connectivity for runners, walkers, and bicyclists, and improve all of our quality of life. We've also made quality improvements to our own buildings. It's difficult to tell people to improve their properties when your own house isn't in order. City Hall received fresh landscaping. We created the plaza as a beautiful amenity. The Public Works Service Center is receiving a facelift. The old Parks building on Branford's was completely gutted and remodeled, using our own staff, by the way. The Hall Johnson Fire Station is being remodeled as we speak. The Colleyville Center received substantial improvements to both the interior with new floors, countertops, and painting, and exterior with fresh landscaping. And we are in the process of completely transforming the senior center into a building and site that we can all be proud of, especially our seniors. I guarantee you, anytime we do a project, quality is first and foremost. Colleyville means community. At the heart of Colleyville is people, a community of people who enjoy spending time with each other and building lasting relationships. We made a concerted effort in the last 6 years to increase opportunities for residents to gather. Our events have been wildly successful and a testament to the fact that our residents enjoy each other's company. We have enhanced our staple events, Stars and Guitars, Christmas tree lighting, and National Night Out. And we've added a lot of others, from car shows, concerts, and farmers markets to Harvest Fest and outdoor movies, and from Bunny Brunch and Winter Ball to Miss Texas Send-Off to the Peace Walk. There is something for all ages all the time. Just about every single weekend we have an event, large or small, as a chance for families to have fun, create memories, and make friends. The plaza in front of City Hall was envisioned as a space for community together, and I can tell you it's being used for just that. There are people out there all the time. Many of our events are held at the plaza, which provides a cozy, tranquil setting. And by the way, I can't help but tell you this, the plaza was built for less than that was budgeted in the original 1999 tax increment finance plan when I was mayor in '99. Community can also be seen in Colleyville Ministerial Alliance. When I took office, a means to build personal relationships among spiritual leaders in Colleyville was important to me personally. The Ministerial Alliance was created in 2016 with the mission statement shown on the slide. Comprised of a diverse group that includes representation from the Jewish community, Muslim community, and various Christian congregations, Colleyville has over 20 houses of worship. The friendships created through the Alliance over the past 5 years allowed our spiritual leaders to immediately support each other during the recent terrorist attack. We came together in the middle of January after the terrorist event to share personal experiences and perspectives and to offer praise for the safety of the hostages. This tragedy has made our community bonds even stronger than they were before. The Ministerial Alliance, working through the city, is organizing a community-wide event for February the 21st as part of the community healing process. As always, Colleyville will come through this event stronger. I hope to see you February the 21st. The pandemic affected many people for various reasons. In conjunction with the gift cards, we created Colleyville Cares cards, a $50 value, and distributed them to the Ministerial Alliance. Houses of worship gave these cards to those who may need help putting food on the table or gas in the cars. The Ministerial Alliance has been a great way to connect our faith and our community, and I cherish their prayers more than they will ever know. Another example of community is during a holiday season. Each Thanksgiving and Christmas, Mayor Pro Tem Lindemood organizes meals for our first responders who are on duty and away from their families. The community rallies behind this, and the men and women keeping us safe are able to enjoy a delicious homemade meal together. And by the way, if you procrastinate and don't sign up in day one, you're likely to miss the blessing of giving because the list fills up very quickly. Collabville is blessed to have an alumni association for both police and fire that also makes sure our first responders are well fed and supported throughout the year. Not only do they provide meals, the alumni groups provide on-scene logistics, supporting police and fire events. And this again demonstrates the giving nature of our citizens. I tell people all the time that Colleyville's greatest asset is our people. We have a smart, capable residents who are always willing to serve their community. These residents volunteer hundreds of hours each year on our various boards, commissions, and committees. There is not an issue that comes up or a challenge that we face that some resident has not experienced or resolved in their professional capacity. I utilize the counsel of these residents often and I thank them for always stepping up when called upon. Colleyville means accountability. Now on to my favorite topic, finances. As you know, I'm an engineer by training. I love details, and this is my last state of the city, so indulge me for just a few minutes. Another top priority for me and this city council has been conservative fiscal management and financial transparency. This is your city government, your tax dollars, and you should know how each and every penny is being spent. One of the first things we did once taking office was to place the city check register on the website. That's right, you can actually go online and in real time see what's being spent. I challenge you to do that, by the way. Over the last 6 years, a lot of work has been done to overhaul our finances and financial reporting. A small but significant example of this work is the creation of the cash report broken out by fund. Each month, our finance team provides exactly how much cash we have on hand and where it is invested. We always know where your money is. Another example is our finance director now presents a monthly financial status at a public city council meeting, so you can watch it. During that meeting, we discussed in-depth current status and future trends. Both of these items, the cash report and monthly financial report, are available to you on our website at any time. And these are but two examples of the many ways we've overhauled our finances, and I simply don't have time to go into the many others. But the hallmark of this administration has been the no new revenue property tax rate, previously called the effective tax rate. This is the property tax rate that brings in the same amount of property tax revenue to the city as the year before, excluding new growth. This council recently adopted the no new property tax rate for the 4th consecutive year. Those 4 years are identified on the screen and have resulted in a tax rate today that is 18% lower than it was when I took office in 2016. You heard that right. 4 consecutive years of the same amount of property tax revenue on existing houses. What that means to you is that your city property tax bill, the check you write, has remained essentially the same for 4 years. We are blessed to live in Colleyville, where we have seen continuously increasing property values. That means our economy is very healthy. As property values increase, this council has offset that increase with a reduction in tax rate. Again, what that means to you is that the city portion of your property tax bill has remained the same. On the screen, notice that Colleyville has the second lowest tax rate of any surrounding cities for the current fiscal year. It's also worthy to note that our rate continues to decline over time, while others in our area, with the exception of Grapevine, continue to adopt rates well above Colleyville's rate. The graph on the screen provides a comparison of how our community measures up to our surrounding cities since I took office in 2016. In context, our already low tax rate continues to decrease and is lower than all surrounding cities except Grapevine. Other than Grapevine, Southlake's tax rate is the closest to ours, and their tax rate is 35% higher than ours. Hearst's tax rate is the highest, and theirs is 114% higher than Colleyville's. That's over twice as high. Many communities tout homestead exemptions as a way to provide tax relief to their citizens. However, since the maximum homestead exemption allowed by state law is 20%, there is no homestead exemption that can possibly make up the differences seen on this chart. The closest city to us is 35% higher than Colleyville. In addition, homestead exemptions must continue to increase each year to keep your tax bill from going up. But they are maxed out by the state law at 20%, so they can't be increased every year. The only way to keep your tax bill the same with increasing property values is to lower the tax rate. We provide the purest form of tax relief, no gimmicks, by cutting our tax rate each and every single year. You will often hear elected officials blame the appraisal district for increased property values, taxes. not like the taxes, but that's simply not true. Elected officials and elected officials only, like me and these guys, set the tax rate that establishes how much you pay in property taxes. And by the way, many elected officials also play the game of saying that they did not raise the property tax rate. While that may be true, but if the property values rise, they raise your tax bill. Your tax bill is calculated by multiplying the tax rate set by the taxing district, whether that be a city or a county or a school, by the value of your property set by the Tarrant Appraisal District. If your taxes go up, it's only because a governmental entity raised the tax rate or did not lower the tax rate to offset the increase in property value. It's that simple. This council set a formal policy of adopting the no new revenue tax rate each year, and if we can't, we will tell you exactly why we needed the additional property tax revenue. As an example, in 2017, we lowered the tax rate, but not to the no new revenue tax rate, in order to fund the recommendations of a compensation study that showed our police and fire were severely underpaid compared to the surrounding cities. We corrected that error, raised their salaries, and did right by those who keep us safe. In addition to the no new revenue tax rate, we have had a surplus each and every year. Last year, the surplus was $1.78 million. And when you add in the federal COVID money, our surplus was actually just over $5 million. This was created by conservative budgeting, efficient operations, and increase in sales tax revenue. These surpluses are transferred directly into the capital fund each year to pay for capital projects with cash. Speaking of cash, we are very close to becoming a debt-free city, and we pay for everything in cash. We don't borrow money. We paid off early $4.75 million in economic development sales tax bonds last year, saving $650,000 in interest and freeing up $600,000 in funds that can be used for other projects such as trails, sidewalks, park amenities, and more. We could completely pay off our remaining bond incurred years ago, but unfortunately, the remaining bond is not callable. We have a 5-year capital plan for all funds, and each one is funded in cash for all 5 years. Another major item this administration undertook in office in 2016 was restructuring our water rates. The city previously had a tiered water rate structure that penalized those who consumed more water. So in essence, a resident paid more for having a larger lot. In Colleyville, we want to have larger lots. It makes 0 sense to disincentivize large lots. And by the way, a large $1 million surplus overcharge was built into this rate, which was used to supplement the general fund. This was fundamentally unfair, and we did away with that system. Now, all residents pay the same base rate for the city's operational cost and the same volumetric rate for their water consumption. We did this with the help of the Water Rate Committee comprised exclusively of Colleyville citizens. And I cannot thank these citizens who served on that committee enough for their effort and their insight. Colleyville means service. We exist as a local government to serve our residents and businesses. That's the bottom line. Everything we do is about service to others. We have a kind and compassionate staff that go out of their way to provide white glove service to our residents. When you call City Hall in Colleyville, you talk to a person. If we don't know the answer right then, we'll go find the answer and get back to you. When our city manager came on board 4 years ago, he shared this mindset, which really stood out to me. He provides his cell phone number to everyone and responds no matter the time of day. In fact, Jerry's cell phone number is right there on the screen. Write it out and try it out. You might have to turn your phone off right now, but he's serious about that. He'll go visit you. By the way, that picture on the left, that's my 97-year-old dad in that photo with Jerry and me. I'm proud of my dad. Two recent examples that stand out to me of this service are the city's vaccine clinic and our response to the unprecedented winter storm. Early on, when COVID vaccine was just rolling out, our staff played a vital role in the Tarrant County vaccination site at the Hearst Conference Center. Our fire department administered the vaccine, IT supplied computers, and staff volunteered time to work at the center. We were also a key contributor to the overall logistics plan. Many Colleyville residents were able to receive the vaccine because of this effort. And I would like to express my appreciation to Judge Clint Whitley for his leadership during the pandemic, especially in standing up this clinic. Although I did not always agree with every decision, I believe that Judge Whitley did what he thought was best for Tarrant County. During the challenging time, Collabville went the extra mile for our residents. The fire department purchased equipment and received the necessary certifications to secure our own doses of all brands of vaccines. They were then able to set up Colleyville's own clinic at the Central Fire Station in Colleyville while continuing to support the regional effort. This was important, especially for the elderly population, to receive a vaccine from their own fire department in their own town. In addition to that, our staff called thousands of residents who had registered at the county website to schedule appointments for them at the Colleyville clinic and to answer their questions. This personal touch went a long way in providing outstanding customer service. Our fire department also made house calls to homebound seniors, providing the vaccine to those who otherwise would not be able to receive it. It puts a smile on my face when I think about the grandparent who was able to receive the vaccine and be reunited with their grandkids because of our employees going the extra mile. By the way, to this day, our fire department still provides vaccines and boosters if any of you happen to need or want them. As if the global pandemic wasn't enough, we were also faced with a historic winter storm that ravaged our state and our community. Thousands of people were without power for extended periods of time, causing uncertainty about the safety of their homes and freezing temperatures that quickly became unbearable. I'm proud to say that our city never shut down, not 1 hour, while those around us did. Our public works, parks, library, city hall, Colleyville Center, courts, and public safety staff showed up every day of that week, many doing jobs outside their traditional role. It's in a crisis such as this that government is needed the most. That's why we did not shut down. And our city showed up in a big, big way. We were the first to open a warming center at the library. We were also one of the only ones to operate it 24/7. Staff volunteered to stay overnight to ensure those needing the center were safe and comfortable. Public Works Director Ray Silva Reyes brought a sleeping bag and slept overnight in his office to ensure he was available to assist our residents. And that is true customer service, and other people have done that as well. Many of our local restaurants delivered food so that the warming center residents had a hot meal. Our public works, police, and fire went to homes to shut off water for residents who did not know how to do this and were worried about freezing pipes. And our public works crew had to repair a broken water main in freezing temperatures to ensure the safety of the system and the road that was icing over. These were just two examples of extraordinary service provided by our city residents. And I tell you, changing that main when water's spewing out in like 1 degree weather is terrible. I applaud them. There are many ways to define Colleyville, but the simplest word that encompasses all of these definitions to me is home. Colleyville is a special place. I love Colleyville with all of my heart. I love the people of Colleyville that make it so special. We have accomplished so much during the last 6 years, led by a strong city council with a clear vision for the future of Colleyville. We've made decisions guided by conservative principles and a get-it-done attitude. We hired the best city manager in the country who shares this approach and who has led the staff well and changed the culture. I would put our staff against any other city in the entire nation, and I mean that sincerely. They are smart, skilled, and compassionate. Our staff truly care about the residents of Colleyville. And I'm quite confident that each of you can think of something over the last 6 years that has improved your quality of life. I think this council has set the bar. Now it's up to future councils to beat that bar. Although not in office, I will be here to help future councils any way I can. And by the way, if I don't like a decision, I'll be sure to let them know that too, just like you. As I close, I want to extend my thanks to you for trusting me to be your mayor for these last 6 years. It's been a fun and exciting time to lead our city. I have learned so much from our staff and our city council, and I'm so appreciative of their service and hard work. I was recently reflecting back on my tenure with our city management staff about how many projects we did, the transformation and focus on quality, and the trust that we built with our residents. We have worked to set our city on a path of success for many years to come, and I know that I leave you in excellent hands to make sure that that happens. I've been asked this question many times, and you may be wondering what I'll be doing after this, after May. I'm still mayor until May, by the way. These pictures tell the story. I'll be spending time with my lovely wife, Linda, my soon-to-be 97-year-old dad, children, and grandchildren. The younger ones are pictured on that slide, along with my dad. The youngest is River in the center picture. She is 20 months old, and we get to babysit her nearly every weekend. And all the grandchildren, ranging in age from 1 to 31, are such a joy and fun to be with. And believe me, they keep me and Linda on our toes. So, thank you. It's been an honor and privilege to serve you as mayor. God bless our country. God bless our state. And may God continue to bless the city of Colleyville and all of its citizens. Thank you so much.